Hi everyone, this is Tanner here, and in this video I would like to vent about my frustration about the high fashion leather brands. Basically that's the whole idea that made me start this Tanner's Club channel, try to help people understand leather better, what is good leather, what's bad leather, and as opposed to what marketing tells you in today's environment, what's the greatest leather, why is it so expensive, which is in my opinion it's all lies and marketing fluff. So I would like to go into details with some examples I'll show you on my screen here with some of the experiments we did and some leathers I have right here with me to illustrate what I'm trying to tell everybody. And actually I'm very happy that so many people today are trying to get into leather craft, either as a hobbyist or aspiring craftsman, try to create their own designs, their own brands. That makes me so happy. Hopefully this video will be helpful to some of those folks who is passionate about leather, either as a user or hobbyist or as a craftsman. So the core concept of my frustration is these big brands with their massive production need, they cannot use leather as authentic as it is because they need so much of it. Leather is not a standard material. They have to take it and standardize it. So I have two examples here. I'm going to try to show you as much as I can. This is one of the standardized leather examples, and this is one of the most typical leather you will find from those big brands. This is embossed on the leather grain, very uniform pattern, and painted with heavy pigments and plastics, so you don't actually get to see the leather grain anymore. There's a thick layer of finish covering it to make it very uniform, very easy to work with. Of course, when you're making hundreds of thousands of leather bags, wallets, this is the material you need. When you're a big brand like that, this is the only thing you can use. As opposed to with small craftsmen who is making this as passionately as we do here, they get to enjoy the luxury of embracing leather's imperfections. This is a leather, an example of it. Like, it's absolutely minimally finished. There is nothing to cover the imperfections of that hide coming from its lifetime. We will see scratches, blemishes, the bite marks, the bug marks, everything that makes each piece crafted with this leather unique. So this is actually what gives you an authentic item made out of leather, using its most unique feature being different each and every time. And when you get a leather craft or any item per se, if it comes to you at its perfect peak of its lifetime, and then once you start using it, it starts getting old, falling apart, and getting uglier than it was when you first touched it, then you got a made-up item. But if you got a craftsmanship, a statement piece item that comes to you at not its peak of its lifetime, it will get better as you use it. So these types of leather will age into beautiful pieces, not deteriorate from the point that you touch your hands on it in the first day. So a couple of examples I would like to show on my screen here is from very known big brands, the Louis Vuittons and Michael Kors, the Chanel, and some other brands that I actually like. They're big, but they try to do a good job of using very authentic leather selections for their designs, and they charge a fair price. Again, I understand there's a status piece you're buying with some of those brands, but as long as you understand that, I don't have a problem with it. Let's take a look at some of those websites together. So Louis Vuitton website here, actually you might remember one of our videos, we got actually this bag to illustrate you how much of it is actually leather, how much of it is the canvas. To be fair, they sell this as canvas, but a lot of people who buys this bag may still think they're buying a leather bag since it's Louis Vuitton. It's very associated with leather, being a leather brand. And this is one of their cheapest item in their collection, by the way. So we took this bag apart, and obviously this was printed canvas, coated canvas. We still have the little pieces left over from it. This is the bag we took apart. It's technically fabric covered with plastic with their signature logo. And what people buy here is the logo. That's the status. It's kind of saying that I'm accomplished, I can afford to pay $2, $3, $4, $5,000 for a leather bag, and I can walk around with it. That's what you're buying. And even if they're leather bags you're looking at, it's much more expensive, but it's all that standardized leather we just talked about. The other brand here, the Michael Kors, I think they're going very similar item of that Louis Vuitton bag, and as they say here, they have 70% coated canvas, which is the body of the bag, and the trim is 100% leather, which is the little details, and it was the case for the Louis Vuitton bag as well. This is the leather section they use, and to me this is mediocre at best leather, completely covered up, made up, standardized leather. I wouldn't touch this as a small craftsman, and most of the small craftsmen I know would have nothing to do with it. So these bags, Michael Kors is fairly affordable comparison to Louis Vuitton. They're at $600. There's another option here, Chanel. They have an aged calfskin. I don't know what that means. I think it's a marketing stuff. I would be very interested to go ask a salesperson at Chanel what does aged calfskin mean, and hear what they have come up with. So this is a $4,400 mini handbag. At least you're getting a calfskin here. It looks pretty good. I'm sure it's a good leather, but not $4,400. Again, you're buying a status here. As long as you understand that this is not that natural item that's going to age as you use it, this is an item that's going to start getting old because it comes to you at its peak look. On the other hand, there are big brands that I pretty much love because they use leather in most of their products. Cole Haan is one of them. They use pretty standardized leather. To be fair, it's not the authentic leather I was talking about, but their items are pretty fairly priced. This is a backpack, $328. Yeah, this is a fairly well priced leather bag, and most of their shoes, it's pretty good. Another favorite brand of mine is Johnston & Murphy. Johnston & Murphy. I actually sold this bag in their store. This was really, really good. This is a full grain, very oily, pull-up finished leather. I really liked the leather. I was about to buy it, but they didn't have one in box. They offered me the one on display. I didn't want to take that one due to some scratches, and I can see that it's back ordered until May for good reason. This is insanely good price, $259. I think this bag deserves every penny you will pay for it. So this is the kind of knowledge I want to communicate when people are trying to shop for leather goods online. Just have an eye for it. Try to look for those things, those authentic marks that tells you it's a leather that's not completely standardized. It's actually still keeping its features, what makes it leather, what makes that living material, not a fabric, not completely plastic makeup stuff. You look for imperfections, and where you find this thing is basically going with the small craftsman. A lot of people like myself and so many people, they're passionate about leather, good leather. Nowadays they use these unique, authentic artisan leathers that the bigger brands don't have the luxury of using. So they offer you a product that comes at its prime, but it will only get better as you use them. They age so well. They're not fully polished, uniform, standardized items that is not going to start falling apart as you start using it. So that's the whole point. I'm very excited of seeing that passion and a lot of people going into the craft, and I'm so passionate about trying to help these people understand leather, have access to good kind of leather, so we as small craftsmen, as a community, come together, put our design, put our talent, our mind together to use best of leather's potential to improve world's leather experience, versus it was under control of 5-10 big brands 5 to 10 years ago. But nowadays it's changing. I'm so happy to see that change, be part of that change, and support that change. So if you like leather, if you love to work with leather, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us, and let us know what you like to know about leather. This is all we're about. We will love to make content with it, try to help you understand it better, hopefully improve leather better together.